So Florida has gone ahead of schedule. We've worked faster than any other state has been able to do, but we recognize that we had an opportunity to do more. You know, the Army Corps, I think they're actually doing a great job with this partnership, but, you know, it's built a little bit differently. The bureaucracy is a little bit more cumbersome than what we do in Florida. And so it's just, we have the ability to pounce on these things and to bring projects to fruition very, very quickly. So we reached this summer, I think as many of you know, a historic agreement to expedite and advance Everglades restoration with the Trump 47 administration. Under this new agreement, Florida is now empowered to complete work on behalf of the Army and federal government. So they give us the funds and then we execute on the projects, and we're able to do these projects quicker and get this done faster. So because of this agreement and what Florida has done, the Army Corps has now been able to accelerate their commitment and investment into Everglades restoration so that by 2029, we're going to have these key projects done. It had been 2034 under Biden. So that's really, really significant. That's a 5-year acceleration for the construction of the Southern Reservoir, the EAA Reservoir. So we really appreciate the collaboration and the partnership we have with our federal partners, and really thank the Army Corps for really, I mean, it's been great to see. They've worked really well with us, and we're making really, really big progress. So the main part of the EAA is a federal project. We did our part of the EAA. I mean, we got that done very quickly. There are other components of the EAA which were also under federal, and so what we said was, let us do some of that, give us the money and we'll do it. So we've been granted the authority to construct the inflow and outflow pump stations and other auxiliary features of the EAA reservoir. So the Army Corps focuses on the main reservoir basin. We do the other kind of supplementary and complementary components of that. We're also able to provide support to the main EAA reservoir project, and we're able to even step in if the vendors are falling behind. So the Army Corps has pledged to expedite permits, remove red tape, so that we're able to get the job done. Now the good news is as important as the Everglades agricultural area reservoir is, we also have other projects. The work to convey the water under the Tamiami Trail through Everglades National Park and into Florida Bay is also a very important component of this, and we've been able to do an awful lot with that, and we're doing more. We've already seen expedited return on the investment on this new agreement. We've got projects underway that would not have started at this point absent this agreement. We were here a couple months ago, well, not exactly here, but we were in South Florida a couple months ago with the Blue Shanty Flowway, which when completed will carry new clean water south. The agreement with the Corps has allowed us to assume responsibility for the construction of this project. It's a critical part of the Central Everglades Planning Project and will play an important role in maximizing the value of the EAA reservoir. We were able to break ground on that important milestone for Everglades restoration less than 8 weeks after we got the agreement signed between the Army Corps of Engineers and the state of Florida. That's a huge, huge thing. I mean, that's like nitro speed. And they had to do bids and stuff, and they had to do all this. So the Blue Shanty Flowway is a constructed wetland flowway that will deliver high volumes of water underneath the newly constructed bridges on Tamiami Trail, and the last major component to, quote, uncork the Everglades. And all of these things have been executed during our administration. Now, as it stands today, water flow to the bridges is partially blocked by levees constructed a century ago to protect vulnerable communities in South Florida from catastrophic flooding. But technology and updated information have allowed us to find better ways to keep people safe that do not harm the water flow into the basin. So when completed, Blue Shanty will be the first of several structures that will reconnect block flowways through Everglades National Park and in to Florida Bay. It's important to direct the water in this manner because it represents the historic flowway through Shark River Slough. This is the first step of a significant project that will ensure this project is ready to go as the EA reservoir comes online, and will end up costing half of the original federal estimate. So today, we're here to celebrate yet another milestone in Everglades restoration made possible by our agreement with the federal government. Part of our agreement allowed Florida to take control of construction of inflow and outflow pump stations for the EAA, located just south of Lake Okeechobee. The EAA is a 10,000-acre reservoir. It will store excess water from Lake Okeechobee, over 78 billion gallons, enough water to fill almost 120,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. This water will then be sent to an adjacent 6,500-acre stormwater treatment area, which is what we did, where it will be cleaned and then delivered south to nourish the Everglades. This will provide an additional 370,000 acre-feet of clean water to the ecosystem each and every year. That's enough to lower Lake Okeechobee by 6 inches and significantly reduce harmful discharges to our coastal estuaries. Now the lake depends on the rain, depends on the season. We have not been hit by any tropical major hurricanes this year. I mean, we're in November. We're still not out of the woods. The likelihood goes down as we get deeper into November. So, knock on wood, we get a couple more weeks to not have. It's got to be great for the state for sure. But obviously, when those systems come, that affects the levels in Lake Okeechobee. Now, the reservoir. It'll be larger than Manhattan, and it'll probably be safer than Manhattan's going to be too. And when operational, will deliver between 270 to 470 billion gallons of clean, fresh water to the Everglades and Florida Bay every year. We'll also supply fresh water for the Biscayne Aquifer, which is a source of drinking water for many people in South Florida. So this is something that will be really significant. Now, we had major delays, as I mentioned, under the Biden administration. Again, it's not a partisan attack. It's just the truth. This stuff was really languishing. We have delivered with South Florida Water Management District, with Florida DEP. We have completed projects sometimes 6 or 7 years ahead of schedule and under budget. Now today, this groundbreaking on the new EAA inflow pump station, this is an essential component of the EAA reservoir project. This will have 9 pumps and will be one of the largest pump stations in the entire state of Florida. It will have the capability to move approximately 3 billion gallons of water per day from Lake Okeechobee into the EAA reservoir. It's slated to be completed 5 years ahead of our previously anticipated opening. And so today's groundbreaking marks the 80th milestone event in Everglades restoration that has taken place since 2019. Really what we needed was leadership and vision, and then we needed to provide support for the people that were on the ground getting it done, and it's worked out very, very well. So we're going to continue to do this. Now, we'll be putting out our budget for the next fiscal year, probably sometime in early December would be my guess. And while we haven't settled on precise figures for anything, needless to say, we're going to continue our support for Everglades restoration and all we've done to be able to promote conservation and water quality in the free state of Florida. It's been important, it's been meaningful, it's made a difference, and today's groundbreaking shows that we could easily, when you do these things, what I've learned is if it's the federal government and like politicians, the federal government, it's their fault, it's their fault, it's their fault. Well, yeah, we can do that and point fingers, right? Or we can say, you know what, we'll step up, we'll do it. We did all this other stuff with our money. We weren't begging the feds to take it over. We weren't begging the feds for extra money. We did our share. And now we're saying, okay, you've got other projects, you've got the resources for that. give us the resources, we'll do it. We'll move it ahead. We'll move it ahead of schedule. Not a lot of other states operate that way, just to be very clear about that. So we're proud that we've really been pushing forward. We don't just sit on our hands. We go out and get the job done. And today is going to be a really special day. So I want to thank everybody that's been involved in getting us to this point. We're now going to hear from some of our other folks. And so we'll start with our Secretary, Alexis Lambert from Department of Environmental Protection.